Picture a car that revolutionized an industry, yet vanished into obscurity. In 1963, a small British company created something that made the automotive world hold its breath: the Rover P6. With space-age engineering that rivaled Citroën's DS, safety features decades ahead of its time, and an engine bay designed for a jet turbine, this wasn't just another luxury sedan. It was Britain's moonshot moment in the automotive world. This is the story of how a small team in Solihull created one of history's most innovative cars, and why it disappeared into the shadows of automotive history. The story of the P6 begins in the late 1950s when Rover's engineering team, led by the brilliant minds of Spen and Gordon Bashford, recognized a crucial gap in the market. British roads were changing. The era of motorways was dawning, and a new generation of professionals wanted something different from the staid saloons of the past. They needed a car that could cruise comfortably at high speeds, handle with precision, and offer modern luxury without the astronomical running costs of a Jaguar. Development began with a clean sheet of paper. The engineering team, working in Solihull's facilities, drew inspiration from some unexpected sources. The Citroën DS, with its revolutionary design, particularly influenced David Bache, who shaped the P6's distinctive aesthetic. The team developed an innovative front suspension system using a bell crank mechanism that would become one of the P6's most distinctive features. This wasn't just clever engineering, it was purposeful. The engine bay was deliberately made wide enough to accommodate Rover's experimental gas turbine engine, showcasing the company's forward-thinking approach. When the P6 was unveiled at the Earl's Court Motor Show on October 9, 1963, it sent shockwaves through the automotive world. The first model, dubbed the Rover 2000, featured a completely new 2.0-liter overhead cam engine producing 104 horsepower. This engine was a masterpiece of engineering, with square dimensions, bore and stroke, both measuring 3.4 inches. Designed specifically for high-speed motorway cruising, a radical departure from traditional British engine design. The P6's body construction was equally revolutionary. Instead of traditional body-on-frame or pure unibody construction, it used a base unit with non-stressed body panels bolted on, similar to the approach used in the Citroën DS. The rear suspension employed a Didion tube setup, but with a unique twist. The tube was split into two telescoping sections, eliminating the need for sliding splines in the drive shafts. Inside, the P6 showcased Rover's commitment to safety, a relatively new concept in car design at the time. The interior featured a padded dashboard, carefully designed to minimize injury and accidents. A unique touch was the plastic prism mounted on the front fenders, allowing drivers to see the car's corners in low-light conditions, though this innovative feature had to be modified for some export markets due to safety regulations. The initial Rover 2000 was soon joined by the more powerful 2000 TC, twin carburetor variant in 1966. The TC boosted power to 110 horsepower and was initially only available in export markets, particularly targeting North America and continental Europe. This decision was partly due to Britain's newly implemented 70 miles per hour speed limit, though the TC eventually made it to British shores in October 1966. But the most significant development in the P6's history came in 1968, when Rover introduced the 3500 variant. This model featured the now legendary Rover V8, an engine with its own fascinating story. Originally designed by Buick, this lightweight aluminum V8 was purchased by Rover and modified for their use. The 3500 transformed the P6 from a capable sports sedan into a genuine performance car, capable of reaching 114 miles per hour and accelerating from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 10.5 seconds. Impressive figures for the time. Getting the V8 engine to fit required some clever engineering. The front suspension crossmember had to be moved forward, and an additional air intake was added beneath the front bumper. The battery was relocated to the trunk to make room for the larger engine. Despite these changes, the car's external dimensions remained unchanged, a testament to the original design's flexibility. The P6 underwent a significant update in 1970 with the introduction of the Series 2, or Mark II. All variants now featured the battery in the trunk, and the exterior received various updates, including a new plastic front air intake replacing the original aluminum version. The interior was also modernized, particularly in the 3500 and 2000 TC versions, which received new circular gauges and rotary switches. In 1973, responding to increasing emission requirements, particularly in California, Rover introduced the 2200 series. This featured an enlarged version of the original four-cylinder engine, with the bore increased to 90.5 inches while retaining the original 85.7-inch stroke, providing better torque characteristics while meeting stricter emission standards. The P6 wasn't just a domestic success, it was also assembled internationally. In New Zealand, the New Zealand Motor Corporation's plant in Stoke, Nelson, produced the 3500 from 1971 to 1976, alongside other British Leyland products. Remarkably, 2,400 of these New Zealand-built P6s were exported to Australia, creating an unusual cross-hemispheric trade in British cars. The P6 also spawned some interesting variants. While Rover never officially produced an estate, station wagon version, Battersea-based coach builders FLM Panelcraft created the Astura conversion. Although records were lost in a fire, enthusiast research suggests over 200 of these practical P6 variants were produced, most based on the 3500 model due to the conversion's significant cost of £800. Rover made a determined effort to crack the American market with specially prepared NADA, North American dollar area, models. These featured distinctive wraparound bumpers, 3 air scoops on the hood, wing reflectors, and the innovative Ice Alert system that warned drivers of potential icy conditions. Despite these adaptations and luxury features like air conditioning and power windows, the P6 struggled to find success in America, with fewer than 1,500 cars sold in 1971, its final year in the U.S. market. The latter years of P6 production coincided with serious quality control issues at British Leyland. This was dramatically illustrated in August 1975 when the British Automobile Association's magazine Drive awarded a trophy to a Rover 3500 as the worst new car in England. The car in question had gone through 3 engines, 2 gearboxes, and 2 clutch housings in just 6 months, spending 114 out of 165 days in the workshop. Despite these challenges, the P6 remained in production until March 19, 1977. The final car, a 3500S registered as VVC 700S, rolled off the production line after nearly 14 years of production. This historic vehicle, which covered only 12,300 miles, spent many years in various British motor heritage collections before being sold at auction in 2003. Throughout its production run, the P6 found fame in various ways. It served as a popular police car in Britain, appeared in television shows like Tinker, Tailor, Soldier, Spy, and Jack Irish, and tragically, a P6 was the car Princess Grace of Monaco was driving during her fatal accident in September 1982. The car's design even influenced furniture. Designer Ron Arad created the famous Rover chair in 1981 using seats from P6 cars. By the time production ended, 322,302 P6s had been built across all variants. Its successor, the Rover SD1, would take a very different approach to the executive car market, but the P6's influence on automotive design and engineering continued long after production ceased. Features like its safety-conscious interior design, sophisticated suspension system, and innovative construction methods would influence car design for decades to come. The Rover P6 represents a high point in British automotive engineering, a moment when innovation, design, and practicality combined to create something truly special. It showed that British manufacturers could compete with the best in Europe, not just in terms of luxury and performance, but also in engineering sophistication and safety. While quality issues in its later years may have tarnished its reputation, the P6's legacy as a pioneering executive car remains secure. The story of the P6 is also inextricably linked to the broader narrative of the British automotive industry. Its development represented the best of British engineering innovation, while its later quality control issues under British Leyland ownership reflected the challenges facing British manufacturing in the 1970s. Today, surviving P6s are highly prized by collectors and enthusiasts, who appreciate both its revolutionary design and its significance in automotive history.